Okay, time for a thing that I hate. Alrighty, so it's Valentine's Day, which means it's time for all the sad single people to come out of the woodwork and cry. But pretend that they're super happy, because that is what we do on every national holiday now. We find the marginalized, and then we talk about how miserable they are because there's a day that other people are celebrating, and that's really, really bad. This annoys me in every guise. Okay, there used to be a time, I remember, when it would be Christmas time, and you'd have all these articles, what do Jews do on Christmas? You know what we do? We go about our daily business. That's what we do. And Christmas is great. I'm glad people are celebrating it. Enjoy. You don't have to celebrate a holiday in order for you to feel good that other people are celebrating a particular holiday. Who cares? It's fine. Unless you're talking about it having national ramifications for you specifically, who cares? But what we get every Valentine's Day is a spate of very, very unhappy people talking about how happy they are. I'm really, really happy, they say as they cry. So Chelsea Handler is a perfect example of this. Chelsea Handler, who I don't know who decided she was funny and when, and how hard they had hit their head on the toilet before inventing the flux capacitor. But who actually decided Chelsea Handler was funny? This is one of these unanswerable questions in life. It's like trying to find out what's on the interior of a black hole. Who was the person responsible for this decision? No one knows. No one knows. Again, one of the great mysteries of creation. Well, she has put out a video on Valentine's Day. It is titled Day in the Life of a Childless Woman for Comedy Central's The Daily Show. And it has some interesting things to say about society. Here is Chelsea Handler's Day in the Life of a Childless Woman.
This is a day in the life of a childless woman. I wake up at 6 a.m. I remember that I have no kids to take to school, so I take an edible, masturbate, and go back to sleep. I wake up at 12:30 p.m. and get ready for a busy day of doing whatever the I feel like. I put on my most impractical and stylish shoes since I won't be chasing a child around the grocery store. I go to my fave spot in Paris to grab a croissant. I do a meditation sesh on the plane since I have no screaming kids, allowing me all the time in the world to become enlightened. The weightlessness of my existence has granted me superhuman powers. I teleport myself back home. Then I get ready for a night out with whatever hot guy I met on Raya that morning. I call up a babysitter and tell her that I don't need her since I still don't have kids. Now it's time for a workout, so I hit Mount Everest for a quick climb. I invent a time machine, go back in time, and kill Hitler.
Freeze, you bastard!
It's amazing what you can do when you have this much free time. And that's a day in the life of a childless woman.
So first off, did you come anywhere within a few light years of a laugh in that particular video? Anyway, no, nobody? No one's laughing? Okay, but there's something that's way more important about this video. And it really is kind of important. And that is, this lady is miserable. I mean, she is miserable. And it's written all over her face how miserable she is because she doesn't have kids. It turns out having kids is really good for you. Now again, you shouldn't have kids because of your sense of subjective pleasure. But the reality is that being embedded in life, being embedded in time, being embedded in that chain of generations we talked about earlier, it's very good for you as a person. Otherwise, you end up as a dope on the Twitters, putting up videos about masturbating at 7 a.m. and eating edibles like Chelsea Handler. That's what you end up like. There's the telltale sign is this. She starts off her day and she talks about probably what she actually does, right? She does pot, right? She has an edible, and then she masturbates, and then she goes back to bed, and then she wakes up late. And then she puts on her most stylish shoes. And then she does a series of things that she doesn't do during the day, right? She names a bunch of things that you can do if you're a single lady with no man and no kids. What you can do today. You can get on a plane. You can go to Paris. You can pick up a croissant. You can go see the Mona Lisa. You can invent a time machine and go back in time and kill Hitler. What did she actually do that day? She got a camera. She made a bad video. She drank a shitload of wine. And she went back to sleep. That's what she did that day. She didn't do any of those things. We'll get to more on this in just 1 second. First, let's talk about the fact that the inflation report is due out today. It's not going to be amazing because the simple fact is that our federal government has no idea how to actually keep within its boundaries. Our federal government continues to spend trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars. We can tamp down inflation for the moment. That just means it's going to explode later on, or we're going to have to increase taxes, economic stagnation. And there are only a few choices when it comes to the national economy. And this is why you should at least diversify some of your assets into something that has lasted the test of time, like precious metals. Gold withstands inflation, geopolitical turmoil, and stock market crashes. You should talk to my friends over at Birch Gold to make this happen for you. Consider converting your IRA or 401k into an IRA in precious metals. You can own gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account. Talk to the experts at Birch Gold. They've got an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, thousands of happy customers, and countless 5-star reviews. Some of my money is in precious metals. Some of yours should probably be as well. Text BEN to 989898. Claim your free info kit on gold and then talk to one of their precious metals specialists. Text BEN to 989898 today to get started. Let's talk about corporate America. Corporate America is one of the forces pushing cultural wokeness across the country. There's no reason for you to sponsor the companies that happen to have a death wish for American society, many of them. So why not instead spend your money on corporations that don't actually hate your values or hate your guts? You should check out Pure Talk. Pure Talk is a no-contract wireless company, the only wireless company to offer 100% money-back guarantee. They are so sure that you're going to love their service. If you don't, they'll give you your money back. Stop paying a fortune to Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. You can cut your bill in half with Pure Talk. The other wireless companies, many of them, are actually pretty woke. They spend a lot of their money on things you don't like, and they're going to try to lock you into those multi-year contracts with huge penalties. Not so with Pure Talk. Their U.S.-based customer service team makes the switch really simple. Switch over to Pure Talk in as little as 10 minutes while keeping your phone and your phone number. Your first month is guaranteed risk-free. Go to puretalk.com, enter promo code Shapiro, save 50% off your very first month. That's puretalk.com, promo code Shapiro. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless. Restrictions apply. See site for details. There is this weird idea on the left that you free people up of all of their normal obligations. Their day-to-day, you get them, they don't need a job. They don't need a job or obligations or kids, family. They don't need any of that stuff. They can be as free as they want to be. And when they do, you'll see human flourishing like you've never seen before. Remember, you saw Nancy Pelosi a few years back. She was talking about the fact that if we can just free people from their jobs, well, then they'll be artists. They'll go back to their government-supported housing, and they will create some of the world's great art. No, they won't. No, they won't. What they will do is lie around and be useless and make bad TikTok videos. That's what they will actually do. Because she's not doing any of those things. Turns out that the way that we actually find fulfillment in life, and I say fulfillment as opposed to pleasure or happiness because fulfillment is not the same thing. Very often doing the fulfilling thing is the boring and annoying thing. But being fulfilled in life requires you to have a higher goal and a higher meaning. And very often that is located in children. Does this seem like I know there have been these memes that have been going around for years, and they happen to be correct, showing here's what your mom looked like, and then here's what I look like, right? It's a young woman. And when I say young, I mean like 35-ish. And the meme has been put out by the feminist left and then sort of hijacked by the right because it's so obviously hijackable. The feminist left put it out, and it was a picture of mom, and she has like 5 kids and a husband, and she's smiling. She looks a little weary, but she's smiling. And then it's me at 35, and it's you in your apartment alone holding a glass of wine with a cat. And we're supposed to believe that picture number 2 is the apex of human fulfillment and happiness. So I just have one point to make here. Chelsea Handler is acting like a child, right? Chelsea Handler is how old? She is currently 47 years of age. She's 47 years of age. She is living alone. She does not have any children. She is not married, from what I understand. And she looks really, really unhappy. She has about the same level of emotional maturity as your normal 17-year-old, which is to say not much. And yet she's putting herself out there, like, I don't have to call a babysitter. I can do whatever I want all day long. But are you doing whatever you want all day long? Or are you really doing nothing all day long and calling it whatever you want? Just to take by contrast, a day in the life of my wife, a non-single woman, a married woman with 3 children and a 4th on the way. Her day consists of a lot of very burdensome things that actually grant her fulfillment. Like, yes, she wakes up early in the morning, slightly after I do, to take care of the kids, get them ready for school. Then she goes into her job where she is a doctor and she takes care of patients for several hours. Then she comes home and she usually has a couple of charity meetings because she's on the board of a couple of charities. Then after I pick up the kids from school, the kids come home and we all sit together and we do the homework with the kids. Then we usually go out and we do something fun with the kids. Then we make dinner for the kids. Then we put the kids to bed. And then finally we look at each other. Now, it's a lot busier than Chelsea Handler's life. But I'm just telling you, my wife has a much more fulfilled life than Chelsea Handler. She does. You know why? Because she has embedded herself in time and space. She has bound herself to others. She has bound herself to a higher set of rules. She has bound herself to actual obligations. Because paradoxically, it's the obligations in life that tend to make us feel truly fulfilled and, yes, free. Because when you're an atomistic individual living on a desert island or in a lonely Brooklyn apartment like Chelsea Handler, you don't feel very free. You feel like drinking a lot of wine and going back to bed. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be talking with Spencer Klavan. He's the author of a brand new book about the collapse of the West and how we save it. If you're not a member, become a member right now. Use code Shapiro at checkout. Get 2 months free on all annual plans. Click the link in the description and join us.